Today we're going to talk about the 2027 Ram TRX orders. So you went to your dealer, you put in a 2027 TRX order, and you're going to get a sheet that looks kind of like this. It's going to have your VON number, and then I am status D today, which I have a VIN. When I put my original order in, we had a trailer tow technology mess up, so I missed it by a couple of days. And it looks like the VINs are running kind of in order as they're building them. I'm like 2066 on my VIN, and one of my friends that ordered from the Dallas area, he was in the 1400s, and he ordered probably within 30 minutes of the order banks opening. And so you can always go to your dealer and they can track it for you. And Ram has a VOTS, it's a Ram tracking order site that you can use your VON that's on here. But for some reason with the TRXs, they have not started working. Now, what's interesting is the plant started up on right before the 4th, and it was like they built about 250 to 280 TRXs. They went through fast, like they were making them and getting them knocked out. And then the 4th hit, I think they had a model year changeover at the plant, and they were shut down for that whole week after the 4th. So then they fired back up yesterday. It was interesting because they didn't build hardly any TRXs yesterday. I think we saw one build sheet. And so, like I said, you can track with the dealer, but I'm gonna give you a little bit more information today on if you wanna track, kind of see how many are getting built, what numbers are getting built. And the first batch that they built were all black. And you might ask, well, how do we know what they're building? And I can show you that here in just a second on the computer screen. I put a link in the description on this that's ram-trx.com. There's a username on that. He's the forum administrator in there, and he goes by 80, okay? Every day he has a script running, and he can tell you how many build sheets and window stickers are being built every day on these TRXs. So if you want to go see if yours is actually getting built, and like I said, the dealer can go through those processes. You're going to see it go through framing, paint, trim, and then it's going to go to ship to body vendor. But what happens is the minute they get all the modules in that truck and they start at the end of the line and power it up, that's when your build sheet is available. Now, you don't normally see a build sheet, but the window sticker is still not populated at that point, but it means the truck is built and powered on. And then after the truck is built and it gets powered on, then it usually goes to body vendor, which will get your decals, your bed liner, if you got the bed utility group, any of those things get done, spray and bed liner, all of that's gonna happen at the body vendor, which is right down the road from the plant. So generally, they build them, but the window sticker doesn't populate until it gets done at the body vendor. But if you want to know if it's built and powered up, you will see that. And that's what this script is checking every day. So we talk about build sheets, that means it's built. And we talk about window stickers, which are abbreviated WS. That means basically there was 6 of them that got released from the body vendor. Generally, once the window sticker populates and they get released from the body vendor, they're usually on a train within 1 to 2 days. And that's why we saw some of these trucks hitting Louisiana, hitting Los Angeles. All of those trucks were hitting generally 8-9 days after they shipped out of the plant. So they're moving pretty quickly once they get released from the plant and the window sticker populates. Now I'm gonna turn this around. I'm gonna show y'all what this forum looks like and what you're looking for. So let me flip the camera real quick. Okay, so when you go to ram.trx.com, you can register if you want, but you can see the forums right there, and I'm under the Ram TRX purchasing, okay? Now let me just show y'all real quick. Like you can see, there hasn't been much activity this week. It was interesting. It was like they ramped up, and you're gonna see a post that looks like this that 80's posting every day. And then when I go in here, let me find one. Okay, so let's go back to July 3rd, right before the 4th. So the script basically, let me set this down so I can focus better. Okay. So the script, basically, you can see the sheet. He can tell you how many black trucks were built. And then when you look at these were the VIN numbers, basically, that populated. So this means they were built, but they're still shipped to body vendor. So like if you look at 1053 right here and we click on it, it's gonna pull up the full build instructions and the build sheet of what all was on that vehicle. Now in this, it'll show, basically you keep scrolling, like I said, it's all the equipment, and it'll generally have a city that it ships to or a zone, and that's how you can tell kind of what state this is going to. But all your colors and information and all that's on there. Like this said, this truck was built on the 3rd. It hadn't generated a window sticker yet. And then what you'll see in his deal, if you know what number you are, so if we're looking like I'm in the 2200s, so you can see that it's kind of odd, the 857, 855. Now they're going to build them logistically in order. So there may be 10 trucks going to Texas in a certain zone. So they're going to build those trucks. And generally they'll be all black, all silver, all white. They group them to make it where it ships in groups and it's logistically correct, right? And so you see 667, 725, 760, 762. We got all the way up to 1053 on July 3rd. And so you can go to this forum and you can see these numbers and you can see kind of where they're at. Like I said, VIN number really doesn't mean a lot now because there's so many trucks, but the VIN generally, it seems like the VIN is actual TRXs in numerical order. And I think they said they were going to build like 2,500 of them in the next 2 months or something like that. And now I'm 2,066. And that was because my order basically got delayed because we had an edit error and I had to re-enter it and cancel it. But I did get a VIN and I am D. So my next move is to go to D1 and I'll actually get an estimated build date. And the dealer will have that also. And then if you kind of know that date, you can go look on here and you can see that. Now you can send your information to 80. You can give him your VIN. And once you get the VIN, and then he'll notify you as soon as the build sheet populates. You're gonna know, hey, my truck's built, you know, and it's gonna go to the body vendor and go through those processes. But, excuse me, I've ordered a lot of Ram trucks and just kind of wanted to tell y'all that this has been around for a long time, how we look up these build sheets and how we see the window stickers. And some of you don't care, you'll probably order it and walk away and just check back in 2 months and see where it's at. But for the ones that like tracking a package and like, you know, you like to see every step of the way, it is kind of a neat process to follow it. You know, because the process when these get built is they literally, by the time it goes into framing, trim, and paint, that's generally within 1 to 2 days. And then it's at the end of the line and it's built. So anyway, it's an interesting deal. I wanted to post that today and just kind of give y'all a heads up on it and tell y'all how to go to the Ram-TRX forum. And if you got any questions below, drop them. I did put those links in the description and I did put the Ram order tracker in there. Now you can go put your last name and you can put your VIN number and see if it works, but I haven't found anybody that's working for yet. And it's probably because this is a 2027 truck and they probably haven't entered it into the database for that yet, but we'll see what happens there. But like I said, anyway, just wanted to kind of give y'all an update. And that's where we're at. So hopefully y'all get built soon and hopefully they move pretty quick on them. Like I said, it's just kind of been dead after the shutdown last week. I think they said they had 1 build sheet pop up this week. So anyway, kind of hoping to see 20 or 30 a day, I think will be the average once they get ramped back up, unless there's a constraint or something like that. But anyway, thanks for tuning in the video. Hope it helped you, and I'll catch you on the next one.